Hey, hey, hey. I am so excited. My name is Ronai Brumett, and you are here for our AromaVibe classes. Today, we are super excited. Beth Schupanitz is going to be sharing amazing holiday swaps with us. Beth is I want to get this right. A functional nutritionist, Beth, you're going to have to help me out. Like I've said it 500 times, but I say it different ways. Functional what?
Functional blood work specialist and a nutrition response testing practitioner.
There we go. See, I wanted to make sure it was done the right way. I've known Beth for years and I've worked with her. I've had her work on me. She is phenomenal. And I'm so excited for her to come in and share with us her knowledge today. And then I'll hop in with some stuff that I'm going to share with you as well. But we're going to have you just go ahead and get started.
Oh, you want me to get started right away?
Oh, wait. A couple disclaimers. At
Okay.
least on my side, we're not doctors, we can't diagnose or treat. What we are is educators. We're here to educate you, give you some knowledge that can help you make informed choices. Beth, I'm not sure if you have your own disclaimer, but that's the one we always do before our classes.
Yeah, I always say that I am not medically trained. I'm holistically trained. I do not diagnose, treat, cure anything. And according to the FDA, I know nothing. So take whatever you wish from me as my opinion. There you go. Yeah, speak and hear no evil, right?
Well, I'm so excited about everything tonight. Now you're going to be able to share your screen.
Okay. Do.
Um, Those of you who are live with us here, please, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat or raise your hand as we're going. Those that are watching the recording later, I believe that we have in the handout is a way to connect with Beth personally, and she has some amazing courses that she does. So make sure you check those out.
Okay, so can you guys see how to eat your way through the holidays?
Yes,
Okay, now I don't know how to get the left-hand sidebar. Is it big enough on your screen that it's not an issue?
I
Then
think so.
okay.
Now, Leanne might be able to tell you how to just put it in.
If you have two screens, you can put it in present mode. If not, it's really difficult, to be honest.
I have two screens, but this is a very old, um,
PowerPoint.
it's called Key Point or whatever it is for
Oh,
app.
that one I'm not familiar with. So I am just going to give the little bit of a disclaimer that about the inch of the bottom of the screen is the closed captioning. And so it does cover the very bottom of the screen.
Okay, so maybe raise it up.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yes,
No, it's adjusting still. There we go.
Does that work?
yes, I can see it.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And so, do people see our faces at the top right then, or are they not seeing our faces?
They will see yours, the one they will see yours in the recording. Those who are live will see it all the way across the top.
Okay. Because that it's going to look like I'm looking at a different screen. So, okay, perfect. Well, I will just get started. And thank you, Leanne and Ronay, for inviting me to hang out with you ladies. And I know that you guys are doing amazing work. And I tell you, the wealth of knowledge that I know Ronay, I've only met Leanne, so I don't know a ton about Leanne, but your emotion code sounds amazing. And you just did a clearing for me, so that's great. But Ronay, thank you for all your knowledge on all the information that you always provide on the oils. So I always think of Ronay when I need an oil. She's got an oil for that, that is for sure. So we make a good team, that's for sure. All right, so how to eat your way through the holidays. Years ago, I put together this presentation because when do the holidays really start? I don't know about you, but in our household, it seemed like they started in October with Halloween. We start having candy around, and I don't know about you, but the pillowcases were the candy getters when we were trick-or-treaters when I was a young girl. So that was a big thing. And I have to tell you, I'm a recovered sugar addict. I'll tell that story in a little bit. But this process, oh, that didn't, this is out of range. Sorry. let me just fix that real quick. The process of getting rid of sugar has been one that I've struggled with for many, many, many years. And I think I actually have control over it in my 50s. So it's been a journey. And just to tell you a little bit about me, um, I am a mom of two boys that are 19 and 16. They definitely keep me hopping and moving. I have a husband by the name of Greg. I love to be outside. I love to do yoga. I love to eat real good, yummy, healthy food, and I love my Jesus. I am a functional blood work specialist and I'm a nutrition response testing practitioner. And I've been in the field of wellness for 25 plus years. I started in the gyms as a fitness instructor, and then I started representing different nutritional products and doing training and education. And then I went back and got my health coaching certification, and I went to more and more trainings. And every year, I say I need to get something under the umbrella of wellness to improve my expertise. And that's what I have dedicated myself to for the past 25 plus years. But my story really started when I was in middle school, elementary school, really, actually, now that I think about it. Um, I was a track runner and I played soccer, and I was athletic. I was pretty good athlete, and some way around my learning, I realized or learned or thought, whatever you want to say, that if I drank sugar, that it would make me faster. And I was pretty good naturally, so I would go down in elementary school down to the cafeteria, and the cook and I were friends, and she'd give me a little white styrofoam cup, filled it halfway up with sugar, and literally just like this woman on the right-hand side of my screen, I would down the sugar. And then I'd go run my track race, and I would do really well, and I would think it's the sugar. And as a kid, I had bronchitis 15 times by the time I was 19 years of age. And what did they do? They gave me tons of antibiotics, which totally killed my gut, allowed me to have all sorts of digestive issues. And I had cravings upon cravings. I used to jump on the counter, and my mom had the blue Tupperwares that pounded down at the top and that would snap close. Well, it was the white sugar, the brown sugar, the red hots, and the chocolate chips. And I would just dig in them. And I just could not get enough sugar. It was huge. But the antibiotics killed my gut so bad that I couldn't stop. My whole chemistry system was messed up. And I remember asking the doctor, do these antibiotics, why does every year I have to get these? Are they going to hurt me? And they're like, no, it's not going to hurt you. Well, when I was 19 and 21, I had to have antibiotics for two different reasons. 4 days on a 10-day series, I was violently ill. And they said, well, you have a resistance to antibiotics, which is not good. And so that started my journey, because in my early 20s, I was having digestive problems. Sometimes I couldn't leave the house, if you know what I mean. I was having acne. I was having leg pain. I was having low energy, mood swings. And here I am in my 20s. And after 3 years of testing in the medical world, they tapped me on the shoulder and they said, honey, you're stressed out. Go home and relax. And I'm like, I'm in my early 20s. What do I have to be stressed out about? And so I was very, very frustrated. And on a recommendation of a friend, I went to a functional medicine person, and within, just one conversation and me doing some surveys and doing a little bit of blood work, she's like, you have gluten and dairy issues, your liver's not functioning properly, and we need to do some major cleansing and get you on that track. Within 6 weeks of doing her protocol, I felt like 80% better. 6 weeks. It was a huge difference. So real foods heal. And from that, a few years later, I put together my 7-day easy sugar cleanse. And that's why that's here. And this is just one of the testimonies of how real foods can heal. I mean, this gentleman did my 7-day sugar cleanse, and he started the sugar cleanse doing 42 units of insulin a day. And at the end of the 7-day, he was down to what, 10 units a day after 7 days. And all he was doing was eating real foods that God gave us in balanced order. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. A little bit about that. I still have the 7-day sugar cleanse. I don't do it live anymore like I used to years ago, but I actually have it all do it yourself digitally. So it still works and it's doing really well. So when we are dealing with the holidays, we definitely want to control our blood sugar. And our blood sugar is the number one thing that for our health, and it's the number one thing that I typically have to help my clients with, even to today, to look at their blood sugar levels to get control with whatever it is that they're dealing with, whether it be brain fog, energy, eating issues as far as digestion, weight gain, weight loss. Blood sugar is your kind of the beginning of your hormonal cascade. So when we control our blood sugar levels, this will control inflammation. This will control pain. And that is the biggest thing that we can deal with, is understanding our blood sugars. Knowing what they are, well, you can get a CGM, which you've seen a lot of people wear them on their arms. You can prick your finger with a glucose monitor. Those are the two most common ways to do it, or you can, go into a doctor and get labs drawn all the time. But what is the best way to do it is controlling it by diet and exercise. So when you start your day every day, we want to have a clean protein, a healthy fat. Yes, we can eat fat. Fat is really, really important, and every single cell of our body needs healthy fats. And then a complex a carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are nature's food. Carbohydrates are food that come from God, come from nature. So vegetables first. A sweet potato is a carbohydrate. Some are more, will raise blood sugar higher than others. But the main thing is, when you eat it with a protein and a fat, you'll lessen that load on the glucose that goes into your body. And every time you eat, when you eat in balance, the key is to maintaining your blood sugar is you have a protein, a fat, and a colorful carb every single time you eat. So during the holidays, make sure that you're focusing on controlling what is on your plate. Second goal is hydration. Hydration is so important. I mean, this is basic. A lot of people know this kind of stuff, but how many people do it? How many people are actually doing it? So, Carb Manager is an app where you can track your foods. They also have a little water glasses at the bottom that you can click them off as you drink those 8 ounces of water. So a good rule of thumb is to think half your body weight in ounces a day. So if you're a 100-pound person, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water every day. And if you don't really like water, well, we need to understand that water helps us with weight loss. It helps us with achy joints and pain, digestion, clearing off skin issues, cravings. A lot of people think they're hungry, but they're really thirsty. So drinking your water is huge. Headaches. If you get a lot of headaches, you could be dehydrated. You have low energy, you could be dehydrated. Okay. And thirst is the last thing to show up when you're dehydrated. But add water or lemon to your water. You can add lime to your water. You can add other fruits and put it in a big container and then use it as you go. But there are some people that say, I drink a ton of water, but I'm still dehydrated. Yeah, then that means that your cells are inflamed and you can't get the water in the cellular membrane. So electrolytes could be something that you add to your water to increase how your body's taking in the water into the cell. So this holiday season, make sure you are hydrated, especially if you're drinking things like caffeine or alcohol, which are things that will dehydrate the body. Okay, so portion control obviously is really, really important. How do I know what my portion should be? Well, remember that portion control is not about deprivation. And I say that because from the first time we put a bite of food in our mouth, it is going to take our brain about 15 minutes to realize that there's food in our stomach. Okay, so if we slow down our eating and take smaller bites and chew our food, you will be amazed that we will get fuller faster on less food. Does that make sense? Absolutely. So it's not about depriving. It's about take a small amount, because you can always go back for seconds, but take a smaller amount to begin with. So your main course or portion size should be equal to the size of your palm of your hand or a size of deck of cards to begin with. Okay. We want about 100 grams of protein a day, 100 grams of protein a day, and 3 to 4 ounces is about the size of your hand, which is about anywhere depending on what the food, 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Your side dishes, especially at Thanksgiving, if you just take 2 tablespoons of a side dish and leave it at that, you're going to be amazed on how you're going to eat less. And then waiting that 10 minutes before you get that second. So your brain has time to know. But chew your food really, really good. And digestion begins in the mouth. So the more you chew your food, the more you're going to digest it better, the more you're going to have less acid reflux or gas or air or belching or gas from it. So digestion is super important. Okay. Okay, we talked about all these. Great. So when you're going to a holiday party, I just had a client saying, I think I want to start with you in January. I have so many holiday parties to attend to in the next 6 weeks. That's great, but knowing these principles during this period now will help you not to make so many roadblocks or get tricked into consuming something that doesn't love you back. And so what are a few tricks that I do? Okay. I have a little tickle in my throat, so forgive me for pausing to grab a sip. But eating before you go to a party, I'm not saying have a meal. I'm saying have a little something before you go to a party, especially a protein and a fat. Why? Because it takes longer to digest that. So when it takes longer to digest it, you're fuller longer and then you won't want to eat as much. Another trick is, let's say you are at a dinner party and they serve you vegetables. You want to eat your vegetables, especially the raw ones, first, because that almost acts like a net in your stomach to slow the glucose down as well. But if you eat your raw vegetables first, and then your protein, your fat, and then your carbs last, you're going to have a slower glucose load than if you had your carbs first. So skipping that bread basket really is a good thing, because eating the bread basket first actually is very damaging to our body, because that fast release of glucose is in there in inflammation. And then that will keep you wanting more later on. And that's where we overeat. So eating before you go to a party and eating something healthy. Drink 8 ounces a glass of water before you arrive. Because again, if you're thirsty, a lot of times we'll overeat. But if we drink water and it's in our stomach, it does take some room. So hopefully then it will get us to choose our foods wisely. Okay. And then one thing I do allow myself, if I want to indulge in something that I typically don't eat, then I'm going to plan in my schedule the next day to do a fast. And again, a fast is not about deprivation. It means that I'm going to be really hydrating myself, taking in electrolytes, and I may fast for 18 hours the next day to get that blood glucose down and get that inflammation down. If you do a 24-hour fast, and in my work, I coach people on how to do fast appropriately. And again, there's right ways and wrong ways. Women need to do it differently than men. Menopausal women need to do it differently than women who have their menses. But fasting for 24 hours, you can reset your digestive tract stem cells in a 24-hour period, as well as your immune stem cells. So it's inexpensive. It doesn't cost you anything, but there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. But those are some tricks to kind of clean up the mess we did the night before, if that makes sense.
So Beth, I do have a question for you, because
Yeah.
I am diabetic and
Okay.
I'm on a pump. And so fasting for that long, I would definitely see a low glucose. So what are some recommendations for those of us that struggle with balancing our glucose levels with fasting?
Are you your diabetic one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're autoimmune, which is different than diabetic too, as you know, but just for everybody else. So every fast, I never tell people to necessarily start with a 24-hour, but so many people these days are doing some sort of fasting. But you want to work up to it, and flexing that fasting muscle and working up to it is good. One thing that you could do is a bone broth fast. Um, or drink your electrolytes during, because a lot of times people are not going to have that crash if their minerals and electrolytes are where they need to be. Or you can eat some fat, like a nut butter, because the fat a lot of times will sustain you,
Mhm.
but it won't cause you to crash.
Perfect. So I've
Yeah, so
done water. I just did not the electrolytes. That's the first time I'm hearing that. So I'm going to try that.
yeah, when you fast, you lose those minerals that you need. 1 second here.
So even though we all do super, super healthy things, there's always stuff that, especially if we're in places we're not used to, that can get to us. And Beth was just in a place where there was a lot of mold, and so we were talking about this beforehand. So she's working on supporting her body through that naturally. So yeah, we will let her cough all she needs, and just wait. If you have any other questions, drop them in the chat or mention them now. Beth, you're still muted.
Sorry. So embarrassing. I'm
I was in California a few years ago teaching a class on healthy living, and I had bronchitis, and I was like hacking up, and this was live, like in person. I had flown out there for this thing, and I'm like, "Ugh, no, really, this stuff will help you be healthy." It was awful, but like it's what we can do. All right, so while Beth is doing that, I'm going to share I took a couple of notes as she was talking, just to be able to share the essential oil side and the stuff that we do here in AromaVibe. So for hydration, one of the best things, because people are always like, oh, water's boring. Citrus oils. We have so many fun citrus oils you can add into your water. Or as we are going into the holiday season, add a drop of cinnamon oil in your water or a drop of peppermint oil in your water. Now remember, I'm talking like a full glass only needs 1 drop. Sometimes you can take a toothpick, a clean toothpick, put it in the bottle, pull it out and swirl it, and that will be more than enough. So start slow and build up to it. But citrus oils help you detox from the inside out. They're phenomenal. Um, as she was also talking about hydration, we have our recharge, and recharge comes in a lemon lime flavor or the strawberry flavor. Both of them are good. So this is our hydration pack. It actually has less sodium than most of the other things because the essential oils that are in there help your body in a better way. Uh, we will share these. These are just, we have some other things I'll be talking about, but I just wanted to share that. Maybe Leanne, you can drop some of those links in the
I
chat.
am working on getting the two. I was hoping the recharge would be in one link and it's not. So I'm grabbing both of them.
Oh yeah, it's in 2 different links, but check out the MetaPower Recharge because it's just amazing. As for feeling fuller faster, there are a couple of really amazing options. First off, we have awesome fiber. Only 5% of Americans get enough fiber in their diet. Like it's just not in our food anymore, or it's not in the foods that we eat. So doTERRA has an amazing fiber. Oh, Leanne, I think you're just direct messaging that to me, by the way.
Oh, I did. That's awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Um, so our fiber is awesome. If you take it about 20 minutes before your meal, it will help you to feel fuller faster, and you're going to digest that meal better. The other thing is the MetaPower Assist. This helps balance those blood sugars that she's talking about. It is a phenomenal product for doing that. So the MetaPower Assist is amazing. And then this is not a doTERRA product, but it is a product that Leanne and I have been trying. It's really awesome. It's called Zestal Trim. And the Zestal Trim is amazing for helping with weight management, reducing food cravings and intake. Like it'll help slow you down, not eat so much. Because for me, at least, the coolest thing about this is it sends that signal from my stomach to my brain that says, I'm full. I've never had that in my life. And so that has been awesome. It helps boosting your metabolism, it helps with appetite suppression, and it helps with energy and improving lean muscle mass. Like those are all things that we need, and it's an all natural product. So we've been very excited and happy with this product. Not everything is a one and done. I used to be like, doTERRA has absolutely every single thing, which they're awesome in the stuff that they have. And as we find new products, we'll bring them in and share them because we want you guys to have the best. Beth has a whole, like several lines of products that are really good. And she does work remotely, the same as Leanne and I work energetically remotely. She can actually work remotely with you on nutrition response testing, which is pretty cool. Um, well, maybe I'll go ahead.
So really quick, Rone, one of the things that you did not talk about though, when using citrus water or citrus
Oh,
oils, make sure you are using glass, stainless steel, or ceramic. Because these oils are so potent, they will eat through the plastic and then you're getting plastic in your body, and that is not what you want.
that's what we're trying to get out of our bodies. Um, let's let's take over. Beth will come back in a minute. So, Leanne, since you are the host, why don't you go ahead? Can you pull up your blog post and let's talk about? Oh, Beth's coming back.
There she is.
No,
I was just about ready to take over the screen.
no, it's all good. All right, so we'll let Beth take back over and then talk about some more digestive health things when Beth is done. All right, Beth.
You guys want to continue and or
No, no, please jump back in. This is kind of fun back and forth.
I'm so sorry.
No, again, it's all about health and wellness, and we want to make sure, like, I know what you're dealing with. I've had that before, and it is nasty. So
Mm.
we're just sending you good thoughts and prayers for quick healing.
Thank you, because it sure does when you're in front of people make it more stressful, and then it's can't control it. It's like, all right.
And as you try to hold that cough in, it makes it even worse, and then you go into that overdrive. Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna get through this. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that.
absolutely.
Okay, so we're talking about before we go to that party. I think we already got this. And did I finish answering your question, Leanne? Did that helpful?
Yes, you completely finished that. So we're good.
Okay, good. All right, so the other thing is exercising before and after. Because if we do simple things like 20 squats standing in place after we eat something, we're teaching our body where to put that glucose instead of storing it as fat. And 20 squats is using bigger muscles to use that glucose up. You run in place, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever it may be. Go for a walk. I got a rucking vest this year, which is a weighted vest. And when you go up and down hills, boy, it's like you're running and I'm just walking. So there's all sorts of different things. But exercise is something you just, even if you just have 20 minutes a day, just go out and do it. You know, from my house to the bottom of the hill by the lake is a half mile one way. So I get 1 mile in. If I go out, it's 15, 20 minutes, depending on how fast and energetic I am. And it's up a hill, which is great to be able to have that. And when I put that vest on, I get even more bang for my buck. So that's one reason why I like burst training now that we're in the colder months, if you're in the Midwest. These are short intervals, but they're 15 minutes total, but higher intensity. So you might be running in place or jumping jacks, burpees, what have you, but you're doing it for a short amount of time and then you have a short break and then you do it again. And so you're doing it at higher intensity to keeping your cardiovascular system going. But I'll tell you, they say that that 15-minute little segment of exercise is actually way better than if you spent an hour and a half on the treadmill or on the Stairmaster or what have you, because of the higher intensity, shorter burst. So look up burst training. I think you'll be, or HIIT training, HIIT. You can find all sorts of stuff on the internet about it. And all of that will help you burn that excess glucose. Now, there's no way or reason that we ever want you to eat poor quality food because it damages our cell wall. But let's be realistic. We live in America, and unfortunately or fortunately, it happens. So make sure you have some of these other lifestyle things in play, like fasting, exercising, to help your body process it better. Digestive enzymes is another thing to help your body break it down. Okay. So attending parties, sometimes there are some parties that I can go to and I know I'll be fine because I know the people and I know that they're healthier minded people. And then there's other parties that I know there's no way I'm going to have anything good to eat because just how they live their lifestyle. Love the person, may not like how they choose their foods. So bring a dish to pass. One that you know that you can eat, that you know will help you stay on track. And do some of the things that beforehand that we talked about, making sure you're drinking the water and that you're eating something before you go, so you don't have to be concerned about what's going to be staring you in the face. Because if I go to a party, I feel stupid if I don't have something in my hand or a plate, right? Isn't that kind of our society? I don't know. Maybe I got that from college. I went to St. Cloud State, and you always have to have a cup in your hand at a party. I don't know. But the point is, if you have something in your hand and you know it's healthy, and that's the first thing you use, then it's easier. And I know one thing that I learned about myself a long time ago. If you told me I couldn't have something, like, Beth, you can't have that brownie. You can't have that brownie, Beth. I want to say, oh yeah, I'm going to go get that brownie. And I want it even more. So then I started doing the art of negotiation. It's all mindset stuff, right? The art of negotiation is, Beth, you get to have that brownie. But first, you need to have a protein, a fat, and a colorful carb. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, I didn't want that brownie anymore. Because my body was satisfied. I had my water, I had my fat, my protein, colorful carb. I was satisfied, or I would want way less of it. So don't allow yourself to eat the yucky stuff first. Eat the healthier foods first. So bring a dish that you know is on your plan and that you know that you can eat. And here's several examples I wrote right here. And if anybody has a favorite dish that they like to bring, share it with us. Okay. Oh, so I already talked about the negotiate with yourself, but developing some positive rituals for yourself is really important. One of the other rituals that I've used is that if I take a bite of food, I take the bite, I put the utensil down on the table, my hand in the lap. Why? Because it slows the process down. If my fork's always in, I eat faster. I shovel it in faster. But if I place my utensil down, hands on the lap, and then I focus on chewing that 10 to 15 bites, it's shocking how much slower you eat, how much your digestion improve, and how much more satisfied you feel. And then you're not wanting seconds and thirds. So it's another game I play with myself. So chewing your food is really, really important. So I just threw this one out here because not everybody wants to know. But when we do know, education is key. So there's just little things that, oh, eggnog, I get eggnog. Did you know that it's like 1 cup of eggnog is like 343 calories? That's like huge. That's 21 grams of sugar. Cream dishes, if I'm going to make a cream dish, I usually substitute full fat coconut milk. Because full fat coconut milk is a good thing. You don't have to worry about a dairy reaction. Sugar, it lowers your immune system. You want to get sick, Well, eat a bunch of sugar, because 1 teaspoon of sugar will lower your immune system for up to 4 hours. And your body's constantly combating viruses and pathogens and bacterias and viruses. It's doing it every single day, all the time. But if you lower it by eating just 1 teaspoon of sugar for 4 hours, your body's kind of fighting it. Do you see what I'm saying? So why would we put our body at a disadvantage? My family used to love fruitcake, my extended family. Well, it's made with high fructose corn syrup. That's worse than sugar. Desserts, pecan pie. Oh, how many people love pecan pie? 500 calories for 1 piece. That's a lot. Cheesecake is 700. Woo! Candy, fruit, vegetables, the carrots, and they slather them with maple syrup or brown sugar and butter. Well, I'm all about eating butter, good quality grass-fed butter. Yay, yum, do it. But to smother them with, sweet potatoes, you have to have the mushroom or the marshmallows and the brown sugar on top of it. You take that sweet potato with a beautiful thick pad of Kerrygold butter. It's fabulous, just naturally good. So be careful about those added things that you're adding on, especially beverages. They really add on a lot of sugar and a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of calories.
So this is not only during the holidays, but whenever you go to buy like a can of root beer or look at like a can of root beer has 46 grams of sugar. Ugh. Anyway,
You bring up a very good point. I teach this a lot. Look at total carbs on whatever label you're looking at. So total carbs, 4 grams of a carbohydrate equals 1 teaspoon sugar. Okay. Now, if there's fiber in it, then you're going to take the total carbs minus the fiber, and that gives you net carbs. And net carbs is what you want to know about. But a lot of times, something with a lot of carbs isn't going to have a bunch of fiber in it. Okay, so let's just take something with total carbs of let's say 50, and there's 10 fibers in it. So that brings the net carbs to 40. I'm doing easy math. That is 10 teaspoons equivalent of sugar. How many would go to your sugar bowl and eat 10 teaspoons of sugar? I used to as a kid, maybe not 10, but I used to as a kid.
I used to. Ooh.
And it screwed up my gut. The point is, that's what we're doing when we are eating foods with a label. So do your best to eat foods that God gave us naturally, foods that don't have labels, and eat something that, like a piece of fruit. Once you clear all that stuff out of your tongue and your mouth, you won't want the yucky sweet stuff. It'll be way too sweet for you. Okay, so pastries or croissants. So I always tell people, if you're going to go to a meal, let's say you're out and about at a meal, some people get wine, and then they get the bread basket, and then an appetizer, which is usually like fried food or bread of some sort. And then they have on their plate, they'll have a starch, a veg, and a protein. And then after the meal, they have dessert. So the wine is sugar, the appetizer is fried food and sugar, the bread basket is sugar. Bread? No, it's bread. No, sugar. Grains turn to sugar within 4 to 8 seconds of being in your mouth. Okay, so really important to understand this. And then that starch that you have on your plate is going to turn to sugar. So whether that be rice or potato chips, what have you. And then the dessert obviously is sugar. So I always tell people, what's your favorite? Pick one of those things, and then you can have that. And then on your plate, have your vegetable, your salad, and your protein, and make sure you have good quality fat, whether it be olive oil dressing or butter on your broccoli or what have you. But when you do the wine, the appetizer, the bread basket, the starch, and then the dessert, you're setting yourself up for failure. You will feel so much better if you eat that protein, that fat, and that colorful carb in balance. Does that make sense? Everybody get that?
Absolutely. This is awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Just a couple slides left to go. So this last slide, we had some things you want to crowd out during the holidays. There may be others. I just picked kind of the random usual ones. But after seeing the crowd outs, understand all of them can be replaced with the healthy counterbout, which I call loving upgrades. So some people like have to have mashed potatoes. Well, sometimes if you want to avoid the mashed potatoes, you can replace it with cauliflower rice. Or you can do half mashed potatoes, half cauliflower. So you're getting some more fiber in there. Instead of doing the sweet potato with the marshmallows and the brown sugar, do the sweet potato with just a good quality butter. So what is your loving upgrade for that specific product? You know, I don't really know what someone's favorite treat is, but when I was at this women's retreat this past week, we made healthy Snicker bars. And it was figs that we put on the bottom of the tray. And then it was organic creamy peanut butter on top. And then we melted dark chocolate. It was 70% cacao, dark chocolate on top. And then we sprinkled peanuts on top.
Was
And,
it figs or dates? Because I've seen it with dates.
did I say figs?
You said figs.
No, they were dates.
Oh, perfect. Because I was gonna say, I think you posted it with dates. I was like, oh, how would that taste with figs?
Yeah, I think no, they were dates. Now you're questioning myself. No, they were dates. But it was really yummy. I couldn't believe the only thing that I would do different, because I didn't make it, somebody at the party made it, but I would grind up the dates. So they were, you know, a little bit more, you could roll them then. This was kind of pull it apart and got a little sticky. But anyways, I mean, that's a counter out part. I used to love York peppermint patties. Oh my gosh, I'd go to the grocery store and it was like they would call my name and I would pull it off the shelf. So I learned how to make York peppermint patties with dark chocolate, okay, coconut oil, and peppermint extract. And I believe you guys have some essential oils around here. So, you know, peppermint right in there, and then you freeze them. And I did that with Reese's peanut butter cup, not with the peppermint oil, but it was dark chocolate, coconut oil in the dark chocolate, real peanut butter with just the nut and salt, and then more chocolate on top, freeze it. And there I had a Reese's peanut butter cup. So here you're talking what, 2, 3 ingredients to make something that's a loving upgrade. I'd make a whole bunch, keep them in the freezer. And whenever I wanted that hankering, I would just pull them out. So there's all sorts of loving upgrades you can have to whatever favorite food that you might have. Like, I don't like stuffing, I never have, but lots of people like stuffing. Well, I make a really great sausage stuffing that has no gluten or bread in it at all. And it's real food. And I've had more people comment how good that tastes. And I think that the list that all of you are getting, oh, did you put it in there? Yeah, it's in the chat. Those have some of my recipes, and I think the stuffing is in there. So there's options to upgrade the foods that aren't necessarily loving you back, but we can make it into a loving upgrade. So I think I would love to hear if you have a specific loving or food that you absolutely love during the holidays and you want a loving upgrade to it, email me and put loving upgrades in the subject, and I will see if I have a workaround for it. I might have on my computer. I have years and years of recipes that I've worked on for people. Okay,
I'm not sure you're gonna have the ones that I need. I need egg rolls and cream cheese wontons.
do you have do you know how to make egg roll bowl? And do it with pineapple salsa and banana chips.
No, I'd love to get that. But our family for Thanksgiving, we do a Chinese turkey, fried rice, egg rolls, cream cheese wontons, all of which I'm not going to be able to eat this year. I will make it for my family, but unfortunately, I can't eat any of it anymore.
Okay, well, send it to me in the email so I am reminded, but I can send you my egg roll in a bowl that's really easy to make. And then I put pineapple salsa and with banana chips. And I think it's yummy. So it's not wrapped, but if you have to have it wrapped, then you can, you got to make sure that the oil that you're frying in is a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. The
Awesome.
other thing this time of year is really just giving your body the nutrients that it needs. Your multivitamin, your fish oil, your quality antioxidants, your vitamin D and K. I know doTERRA has some great products to choose from. Oh, there may be a couple holes that I can possibly help you with if they don't have something, and that's something I can support you on. There you go. Awesome.
I'm
Okay.
actually going to drop my egg roll in a bowl recipe for you guys in it. I don't have banana chips and stuff like that in it. Mine is olive oil, onions, mushrooms, ground meat. We usually do ground chicken, teriyaki sauce, and we make sure it's 5 ingredients or less with the teriyaki sauce. Fish oil, Chinese 5-spice, eggs, coleslaw, and shredded Brussels sprouts or broccoli slaw.
Yeah. I use broccoli slaw a lot. Sesame seed oil. I really love that. I don't use the teriyaki sauce, but the sesame seed oil and coconut aminos. So very similar, very similar. Sounds yummy. Okay, so just to recap, we got to eat this way for the rest of our lives, really, is what we want to shoot for, because you want real whole foods that God gave us in balance every day. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little, add in some fasting, and obviously stress reduction, movement. I had a teacher once that said we need to move right, eat right, sleep right, think right, poop right, be right, have a good mindset. So understand all of that is to be said, but with our food, hydrate daily. Drink half of your hot body weight in ounces a day. Eat the real foods, obviously as much organic and pasture raised and wild caught you possibly can. Have that protein, fat, colorful carb every time you eat. So that's the balance eating. And then eat only 2 to 3 meals a day and avoid the snacks. The education that I got when I first started this 25 years ago is that they taught us to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Really, we are a society who eats way too much and too often. We are never, ever giving our digestive tract a break. And that's why fasting is so helpful. The body is an innate ability to heal. And when we fast, it can do that. So that is basically what I have for you in a nutshell. I know we're over time. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no,
Uh,
you're doing great.
Hopefully this was helpful. I'm happy to take questions.
Absolutely. So we'll have you answer questions more when we stop the recording. I'm gonna just quickly go over. Leanne, can you pull up your blog post? Because I kind of covered the other stuff. I'd love to go over really quickly. Oh, you are muted.
So Beth, if you'll stop sharing your screen.
Oh, how do I find it again? Oh, stop share.
There you go. Which blog post did you want me to go over? Because I shared a couple different ones. The digestive health one.
The digestive health one, yes.
Perfect.
So I kind of talked over like the hydration using citrus oils and our MetaPower Recharge, which is our hydration that we add into our water. I do that at least the days that I work out. You guys see me in the mornings going, "Hey guys," as I'm talking, I'm putting together my little mix of my drink in there, but the hydration pack is really, really important for that. And then I talked a little bit, uh, just adding on to what Beth said about feeling fuller faster. The fiber, doing that, and the MetaPower Assist 20 minutes before a meal, or using Zestal Trim, super, super cool. And then I do want to go over these Beth mentioned enzymes. We have one of the most amazing enzymes, our Terrazyme. Your body only produces 10 of the 21 enzymes you need to digest food properly. The rest we're supposed to get from our food, but our food is no longer enzyme rich. This is where we can get it. Terrazyme is amazing. Making sure that you have, oh, there's the hydration pack right there. The recharge is on your,
Right there on the screen.
I missed it the first time I looked it over, but really, really important. This electrolyte mix is awesome because it has a balanced ratio of potassium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, and it tastes good, right? There's no sugar added. A lot of people are like, make sure you get your Gatorade for your electrolytes. I'm like, there's so much sugar in Gatorade and Powerade and stuff like that. And one of my sons is super addicted to Powerade. He loves it. And I got him to switch over to these hydration packs, and he's feeling better. This is the one that also has an autoimmune disorder. So, guys, making sure we're getting those. If you are dealing with autoimmune stuff, which a lot of us are, then making sure that we are reducing our sugar is super important. I will tell you, I just went on and bought Beth's 7-day get rid of the sugar thing. Guys, it's like half price right now. So please, the link is here. For those that are watching this later, we'll make sure the link is attached to it, but I'm super excited. I just got it. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be fun. So making sure we're working on our metabolism. doTERRA has several different products that help with the metabolism. The number one thing I'm going to talk about here, though, is getting your gut health right. Our PB Restore and our PB Assist Junior, which the PB Assist is not on here.
Called PB Assist Plus now.
PB Assist Plus, yes, they've changed. It's not on this, but there's only so much that can go into
it is, I think, on our supplement sensation one, which is also linked at the bottom of
yes, right there. Okay, so these two are a powerhouse. First off, the PB Assist Plus, when it first came out, was designed to help kids. Like, it's designed for kids, but strong enough for an adult. And when you have that sugar craving, oh, this is like the best pixie stick ever. You guys remember those pixie sticks when it's straight up sugar with some coloring and a little bit of flavoring? This is not that. This is a probiotic that tastes like that, and it doesn't have any sugar because it uses xylitol, which is a sweet enzyme.
I'm
It
going to
is,
jump in here really quick because I just
yes.
went to a doTERRA foundational wellness training.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why it's not called PB Assist Kids anymore, they did update the formula, and the two products actually work in tandem. And so it's important to have both of them. And if you've watched any of Ronai's videos, she uses the PB Assist in the morning, and so do I. And then I also use the PB Restore. So we will go into that more in depth as we get more of that foundational wellness training. We're going to hit it hard again in January on restoring. We'll probably do a restoring gut health training.
Absolutely. Another important thing about a probiotic, make sure you are taking it morning to afternoonish, but not in the evening, because if you take it too late and then you lay down or you're not active, your body, it doesn't have an opportunity to help you work through the things you need to work through. And that's what a probiotic will help you work stuff out in some ways. So make sure you're taking it earlier. This was something that I found out with the fall tour. Dr. Watts was talking about this, and he was like, you guys, take it in the morning. Take your probiotic in the morning to early afternoon, but not later than that. All right, can you go back to the other page, please?
Yep.
Detoxing stuff. You know what? I'm not going to read this. You guys can go to this, read through it. If you have any questions, we're super happy to answer your questions. As always, we love to share and educate. We're going to turn the recording off here.
I'm
If you're
quickly going to
live,
jump in. You guys, if nothing else from the chat, make sure you save this blog that we put out for today, which is the handout. Healthy Swaps for the Holidays. That's where you will get Bronay's actual blog. Beth's book, or ebook is what we're calling it, is the download here. Then if you scroll down, here's the information where you can shop doTERRA. Also a detox product that Ronay's been talking about, Zestal Trim, like we talked about. And then these other blogs that we've shown you on the screen, digestive and metabolic health. There's also the VMG whole food complex information there, and the supplement sensation. So
So
the
yeah, if you
biggest
go to,
important
if you
thing
go
is
to,
to get this blog.
yeah,
Sorry,
Ronai Brumett. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's RonaiBrumett.com and then go to my blog. And all of this information is there. If you are lucky enough to be here live, you now get the opportunity to ask Beth all sorts of questions. So we're gonna say bye if you're watching the recording, and hopefully you join us live next time.